Hi everyone, welcome to this would be our third video. So first, I would like to thank you everyone who did send me messages with feedback, and also like I received a lot of nice messages. So thank you so much. It's really motivating for me to know that this might help or is helping like who are struggling with Figma and how to get started and so on. So thank you for all of this feedback. And I'm super happy with the message that I got. And yep, this really motivates me to continue going. As I mentioned before, my goal is to remove this try to remove this Figma barrier or make it less of like something so hard to do, so everyone can focus, like especially those who are like starting in the UX UI design field, so they can focus on cultivating like the critical thinking and focusing on like solving problems and etc. And then Figma is just like an extra, because as I mentioned before, and I will mention it a lot of times, Figma is just the tool that we use to help us in like showing like our ideas and so on. So thank you. Uh, I'm gonna continue this video from where we started. We were like yesterday we were designing this sign up page from ChatGPT. I'm gonna continue today. I had like a plan of continuing this flow, but I decided to finish this one first, and then I want to decide with, I want to get like feedback from you all later, if we should continue on this, if we could like start another one. So yes, but I want to finish this one first, like going through the icons and so on. So first thing, we didn't name I want to get some things like more organized now. So this is exactly how it was like yesterday. I didn't change anything. So for example, our file is still named as untitled. So I want to rename it to Chat GPT exercise. You can name it to whatever you want. This page, I'm gonna call it design, just to make it more organized. All of this, like the components that we created yesterday, when we can delete this now, because we used this to get the style, because I wanted to show you. So we can delete or we can leave it as it is. That's okay as well. And I'm gonna be organizing this, wrapping this in a new section. I usually do this to get things more organized. So I'm gonna wrap this in a new section. I can go here with right click on my mouse and click on wrapping new section, or I can just click Command S and it's a new section. I'm gonna call this UI kit. We were like starting to build a UI kit. I can change the background if I want. I'm gonna leave this as yes, this color here. And I like to give rounded corners to everything, so I'm gonna just put it like a 16. And yep, yeah, good. I'm gonna move this both to the top. I'm gonna remove this one with the low opacity, because we just used this to draw on top. I'm gonna remove this, and I'm gonna call this sign up. I'm gonna put one because it's the first one, and I'm gonna put sign up or sign in, and so yes. So today I want to continue and do the exercise of adding the icons, because this was the thing that was missing from what we did yesterday. So I want to just finish this one so we have everything ready and so on. I'm gonna also rename this image one to reference. because it's a reference. We are using this as a reference to design on top, to design from it. So, okay, so let's start with the icons. How can we add the icons? The good thing is that we already added like a placeholder. And I'm gonna come to the components. We already added a placeholder. So what I'm gonna do is, I can show you how I usually go. I will show you two ways of getting icons for your designs. So I'm gonna show you this website, which is Flat Icon. You can go here on icons and look for any icon that you would like to. So let's say we need the Apple icon. I can just come here and just type Apple. And can you see we have like more than 30,000 Apple icons. Of course, we have like some generals Apple icons, but we have the official Apple icon as well. I can just click here and copy this PNG or download this PNG. The only thing is that when we usually add like these icons and assets into our design, it's better to add as a SVG. Why? Because as an SVG, we avoid that, for example, when the developer will build that, we avoid that something is, stretched or pixelated. So when we use like the SVG version, we avoid this pixelation of our assets, and everything is a vector. So I can show you a little bit. So let me try. But can you see I can do the free download as well, but he asked me to an attribution required. But I'm gonna just download it here. Here they had the option before, but I think it was just for, no, yes, you can see here. You can change the size of the version that you want to add. So for example, yesterday I told you about the 24 pixels. I'm gonna download this one. It's asking me for an attribution required. I'm gonna download it anyway. So I'm gonna come here and I'm just gonna drag this here. Can you see how this is pixelated when you zoom in? And this is why I told you, like, I'm not gonna say never, because sometimes we don't have like the SVG version and we need to use the PNG, but that's why it's best practices to use always the SVG version because of this pixelation and so on. I'm gonna try to look for another Apple icon in a different here that is, if you go into this icon of these stars or press Command K, you can go into plugins and widgets, and I'm gonna type here and look for icons. You can see that from Figma you have like a lot of plugins that some people add to the Figma community and that you can use. This is really good to know, like, because plugins they make our lives easier, and there are a lot of resources, free resources. Some of them they might require to pay, like for example you can see this one here, 30-party payment, but you can use some of the things for free, so it's really good and it's already inside Figma. Let's see, I'm gonna try to use this I'm gonna use this first one. We can see here that is an open source library, which is good because then we can use without needing the attribution. We have like 223 icons. Probably they have the Apple icon because it's super common. So here we have like a little bit about it, like the plugin features. Then we just go into run. It's gonna load. Can you see it here that you have like, this is inside Figma. If you go to another page, you can see this is inside Figma. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna type Apple and it's searching. Okay, it didn't find any Apple icon, so that's bad. But that's good that I have other options. So I'm gonna be going here on icons again. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to plugins and widgets. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna click on this. We can see here the number of users who have been using that. So this one has more than 1 million. So this one probably is good. Always pay attention to that, to the likes and etc. Because if more people are using it, that means it's good. So let's go to this one. We can see here like some free within app purchases are free for a link. Okay, let's try to use this. Okay. We have a lot of things here. So I'm gonna put here Apple. Oh yeah, the SVG version they are asking me to pay. But let's see. Okay, I could use it. Okay, set a link to icons. Okay, it's asking for an attribution, but you can mention that you're using the icons from this. You can also use the PNG. I just wanted to show you the difference. It's super big here. Oh, we have here the option to use the... Okay, I told you in the last meeting I'm doing this like with you in the video, so sometimes it's a little bit messy. That happens. Our process is not like perfect. We try and see what works and etc. So for example, here I didn't know that there was like an option to get a smaller one. So I'm gonna delete this one and I'm gonna put this that is more close to this size. Let me just delete this. Click on this again. Okay, I have a size here that is more similar to the one that we got from Flat Icon that was a PNG. Can you see like the difference between both? Like this is the PNG version. It's super pixelated. Of course, if you do zoom out, it's not like showing too pixelated, but you can see that it's blurred. The quality is not good. So, and can you see how the vector version is super clean? Like we can see the lines, like the limits, the delimitation, and yes, all of this past, I don't know, 5 minutes that I took to show you this is just to explain like why we always go for the SVG versions because of this. The quality is better. The size of it when we download it is smaller. PNG will be bigger. And sometimes for example, for the developer to put it on the, this is important. Because when the developer adds this icon as a PNG to when they are like building the code, the PNG, because it's the file size is bigger, it might take more time to load. So it can happen that, for example, the person jumps on the page, let's say a web page, and the icon will be still loading because it's requiring more data to load that because it's bigger than the SVG version. So just to show you and defend why we must like always go for the SVG version. So yes, I think I made my point very clear. So okay, so I'm gonna delete this PNG. We just use it for this. Okay, and I'm gonna get this out of this. Can you see? I'm gonna close this one. Can you see that this is inside a frame? I'm gonna put this outside because I want to do something else with this icon. So I'm gonna click here on the vector and put it outside. Can you see here on the left? I'm gonna do it again so you can pay attention. If I drag this outside, I can see immediately on the left this being removed from the frame. So important. I'm gonna be deleting this here. And now I'm going to resize this. I can see that the biggest part here is 27. Thinking about, I'm gonna just put this here so it's closer. Thinking about the placeholder that I had here, I did put it 24. So that means that my biggest part here should be the maximum of 24. So what I'm gonna do here, I want this to have like some space around it. So I'm gonna put the biggest part of this, which is the 27 to 20, and make sure this is this constraint proportions is not showing like this broken link. It's showing like this. So it's gonna be resizing. It already did. It resized it. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna undo it so you can see exactly what I did. So making sure this link is selected, change here to 20, enter, it resizes it like in proportional. And we can see this is 16 and this is 20. Awesome, this is what I wanted to do. Okay, so now I want to add this inside a frame again, because it was inside a frame, but I removed it from the frame that it came with the plugin because I wanted to show you how to do this. So I'm gonna create a frame. I'm gonna be frame selection. Can you see? Right click this or command this option G, and yes. So I'm gonna transform this into an auto layout. So I'm gonna be clicking here, or Shift A is an auto layout. And I want this to have 24 because it's the size of the placeholder that we added. So I'm gonna change this to 24, 24. Okay, Beatrice, but it's not centralized. I'm gonna put it outside so you can see. It's not centralized. Can you see the, yeah, so what do we do? Because auto layout is, it's magical. And that's why I'm like saying all the time, focus on auto layout, because yes, for me, it's like the must in Figma. When you are like learning Figma, focus on auto layout. It saves our time like by a lot. So now if I just click here on Align Center, wow, it's magical. I love auto layout. So yes, I'm the crazy person with auto layout. So yes, it's centered. And if I want to put it, for example, align to the top, can you see? Do you remember when we had those DVD things that it was like going, it seems like this if you start playing, but okay, let's go back. Okay, so I'm gonna call this Apple icon. And I could already put this here inside and remove this. But I want to do another thing, because we are just like, we're just doing this, so I want to complicate it a little bit, but it will help you a lot. So I'm gonna undo it, and I'm gonna transform this Apple icon into a component. So I'm gonna create a component, Apple icon. And I want to use the properties because I want to create the other icons. The continue with Google and let's see. Oh, I did add a placeholder. Okay, we will work on this, on removing this. I want to add this Google and email icons as well. So I want to create a component that is like that. It has this additional properties of the Google and the email. So I'm gonna add a property. You can see, you can go here and just can go here, and it already created. And because it was called Apple icon, now it's calling my component group Apple icon. I'm gonna rename this to icons, and I'm gonna rename this that is called default. Every time the first one is always a default, so I'm gonna put Apple. I'm gonna call this Google, because this is where we're going to be adding Google. So what I'm gonna be doing here, now I'm gonna look for the Google. Actually, this is not gonna work out. As I told you, we are doing and doing. Okay, let's try to do this. If it doesn't work out, I'll show another way. So let's go again to this. If we go here, the plugins that you used will be showing here on the recent. So this is good. It's not like, okay, which plugin did I use before? You have this on these recent suggestions. So I'm gonna come here and gonna click look for Google. Let's see. They are showing me the black and white versions because, but I need the colorful one. But they are showing me the black and white version because of this setting here. So I'm gonna reset or just, okay, how do I get the colorful one? I'm gonna try to put this. Okay, we have a problem. It's not showing me the colorful version. So let's try to, yes, okay. Okay, we're doing this together, so that's it. I'm just did click here. I'm gonna try to redo it. Let's do it again together. So click on this icons H. Go on all. It was before it was on this iOS 17. Yes, so just change the filter here to all. Google. It shows me the version that I need. So I'm gonna change here again. Okay, the smallest one that they have is 50 by 50, but that's okay. We can resize it. I'm gonna click on that. It's added somewhere. Okay. Yes, just pay attention because sometimes they might add things like in the middle of the canvas. So just look for it. Like, where is the Google? It was here. It was close to where I was working. And even though I was like zooming it here. So that's okay. I'm gonna just drag this here because I'm also gonna use this time that I have this plugin ready to look for the email icon, this one. Sometimes we might not get the same icon, but I think this one is pretty similar. I'm gonna get the black and white version, but I'm gonna change to white later. I think this one is similar because it's a little bit rounded. I'm gonna use this one. Okay, it's asking me to pay. No, which is too bad because I don't want to pay. What can I do? I can look for another one. Let's use another plugin. Let's use this other one that had less options, but probably they have like an option for email. Mail. No, it doesn't have the one that I need. I can look here for another plugins. Oops, sorry. Icons. I'm gonna use this one, feather icons. Run. Email. Mail. That is too bad. I'm not finding like the ones that I need. That's why it's always good to have like an account on this. That's why I like it to have this an account, a premium account here on a flat icon because I could already add it to Figma. But let's go with what we have. Let's use the plugins, the free versions. I'm gonna use now this icon scotch. Skip. Got it. Okay. So I'm gonna try to look for mail. I think they have here, this one is pretty similar. It's not the same, can you see this is, but that's okay, it works. Let's see what the versions that they will, oh, awesome. They can let us to insert as an SVG. So awesome. Where did they add this? Wow, something happened here. It came like totally out of proportion. So I'm gonna delete and try again. I don't know what happened. Okay, awesome, it come right. Okay, so we have all the icons that we needed. Just this one seems like a good option. I'm gonna try to see if they have the Google one. They have the Google one as well, and I can use as a insert as an SVG, and they are not asking me to. They are not asking me. I don't know where they are adding this. Wow. Okay, here it is. Wow. Okay, that happens. So they are not asking me for an attribution, so this is good. I'm using this one. I'm gonna delete the one I added before. So this icons sculpt seems like a good option. So yeah, that's it. We are doing this together, so this kind of things happen. Okay, but Beatrice, this Google icon is too big. Yes, it is crazy, crazy, crazy big. So how can I resize? I can come here, click to constrain proportions and add like 24. Wow, it resized. So, okay, so I'm just gonna drag this back here. By doing this, I can select and just move it around. But remember we talked about removing the icon, so I'm gonna be selecting these vectors here and grouping them. By grouping them, you just do Command or Control letter G. It's a group, can you see? I just did already, like, again, the dragging outside. Yes. I'm gonna delete this frame because I want to do an auto layout. I'm gonna call this Gmail. But remember we talked about being like 20 by 20 because we want the auto layout to be 24. Let's resize it again. I'm gonna be putting constraint proportions again and 20. Awesome. 20, I meant like I'm gonna redo the biggest size. So the smallest size is like 19.6. That's okay. Transform this into an auto layout. And okay, what happened? Yes, what happened was because they understood that they did transform everything inside into an auto layout. I'm gonna try to create another group. So yes, so just when that happens, just create another group for the group. So can you see there is group 1 and Gmail group is inside, and then transform this into an auto layout. So yeah, it transformed the group into an auto layout. So because we added this to this Gmail, it was understanding the vectors inside to be readjusted to an auto layout. So that's why that Frankenstein happened. So here that's cool. I'm gonna resize this 24, 24 as we did before, centralized and Gmail. Let's do it already for the email. So getting everything that is inside into a group, calling this mail, putting it outside, deleting the frame, transforming this in another group, so Command G, use auto layout, Shift A or come here, mail. Resize. Oops, I forgot to resize, but that's okay. We can just click on the group here, constrain proportions, the biggest size, always go for the biggest size, 20, awesome. And now come here on the auto layout. That's why using this here on the left help us to speed up the process by a lot. So click here 24, 24 and centralize. That's awesome. Okay, so what about now? We had this here as the Google icon, but we are not gonna be, we can drag, we're not, no, sorry. Actually, we can. We can drag this Gmail. Do you remember that when we were like creating let me just make this bigger a little bit. Do you remember when we were like creating the components from for the icons, the variables, the property, the variants? Sorry, variables is another thing. So when we were creating the variants for the components, we already created the Google one because we just came here on the Apple one and just added another one. Do you remember? So now I can just click on this Google. It's already here created like the component, but the vector inside is still the Apple one. So what I can do, I can get this Gmail one. I'm clicking on it and dragging inside. And it's already inside the Google one, but I still need to delete this Apple one. So I just can delete here. That's why super important to always use these layers. Again, it helps us a lot because then you would need to understand like, oh, okay, what is happening here? So you can understand here the hierarchy of things. Like this is an icon component like set. This is the component for Google. This is the auto layout that we created for the Google icon. And all of this is related to, can you see? All of this is related to the Gmail icon. This is not. This is the Apple icon that is inside that Google icon, but we don't want that anymore. So I will just delete. And now we have already our Google icon. Yes. So, okay, but I can rearrange this inside. No worries. I'm going to be just rearranging. Just be careful not to put anything outside this purple line, okay? Because it needs to be inside this purple line. Okay, so we still need to create the mail icon. So I'm just gonna be here and I can add a variant from here. It already creates it already duplicates the one that I did click to plus. It's called variant 3. So I'm gonna rename here. I can just go here and rename it to mail. I'm gonna do the same process of dragging this inside. Can you see? It's showing here on the left, this black line. It means that it will put exactly here. And you can see here on the canvas this, I'm pointing with my finger, but yeah, I hope you're seeing it. So I'm dragging it, and when I see this is where I want, based on the feedback that Figma is giving me on the left panel and on the canvas, I just let go, just not clicking anymore, and it's here. But okay, but this is for the email, and we have the icon for the Gmail because we duplicated that one. So we can just delete it, and now we have like the email, Gmail, and Apple. Okay, Beatrice, but why all of this trouble if we still don't see this on the final design? Now I'm gonna show you the magic. So I get too like I get too excited with layout and like when teaching this because some people said before, like when I did this first exercise of auto layout with some students, one of the students left a comment like, oh my god, this is magical, and I want you to have this magical yeah, that's why. Okay, so now I want to add this icons component that has like 3 variants. Can you see, like this is the component icon. I can rename this. It's called property 1. This is the property that is like, okay, this is related to what? I can leave as it is, but then you have the values that are the variants, Apple, Google, Mail. I want to put this inside the button. So I'm gonna be coming here on my local assets, click on the icon and drag it inside. Again, it's magical. It drag it inside my button. I'm gonna come here to file just so you can see. So can you see like the primary icon now has icon inside? And again, I mentioned this in the previous video. Can you see that here, for example, in the icons, the Apple icon is showing here like with this field icon. But when we go into the button where we added like from the assets, which means like we added an instance. Remember I mentioned about that. We added an instance of that component, of that variant of that component. So we made like we are getting the properties from that component. So this is an instance. And then we have this outlined icon, so it's different. So always use the instances. Leave the original one, like the components here, and just add like a copy, like an instance to your designs. I'm gonna delete this placeholder, and okay, here it is. Because we could have created these icons first, so when we would be like creating the components for the buttons, we could have done this changing now, like just the icon. But as we did like this other flow, I'm just gonna be copying this icon, Control Command C, and pasting Command or Control V here, and deleting this icon placeholder again. Okay, so what happened here now? Because I can see that this is showing the Apple one. Now is the magic of components. I was talking about the magic of auto layout, but also the magic of component. So now I can just come here on my property one and change it to Google. And yes, easily changed. And the login. Okay, Beatrice, in the login, we don't have any icon. Okay, we can just delete this placeholder, and that's fine. And let's go to our final design because something happened. Can you see it automatically updated our design while we were working on the components? It automatically updated our design here because we are using an instance. Let me move my face here. Hello. We can see here the instance is it's already updated based on what we did on the source, like on this on the component, on the, let's call it the original component. So that's awesome. This is the magic. You didn't need to do anything here, you just did it here, and now it's updated here. But Beatrice, because you added this, the continue with Google with this one, we had a problem that with the sign up with email, it didn't come the, let me show you the, where is the reference? I think I deleted the reference by mistake. That's okay. That happens. Let's get it. I wanted to show this, but I'm gonna show this another video, the thing that I was seeing. So let's just copy this screen again because I deleted by mistake. Command V, again, as we did last time, transforming this into the size that I want. Put it here on top. Okay, awesome. That happens. The sign up with email button is not reflecting. It's reflecting the components. So here I'm having like the Gmail icon, and I needed to have this email icon. But no worries. What we're gonna do here is I'm gonna move myself again. I'm gonna come here on this button, and I can do like double click to directly select on the canvas, or I can just come here on the left. I can see the sign up frame. This rectangle is the placeholder for the ChatGPT logo. Here on the container, CTAs is what we did previous video, where we put all the buttons inside. We have the continue with Apple button. We have the, can you see like the purple line outlining what I'm selecting on the left? I want to go into the sign up with email. So I want to select the icon. I can just double click here, but I want to get you familiar with using this on the left because this is super important and will make your process easier with time and so on. So I want to go into the sign up with email. I'm gonna click on this little arrow here to open. So open everything that is inside this button, and I want to click on the icons. So now I'm gonna move myself again here. And if I go here on the properties, I want to change this instance to reflect on the email icon. So I can just click here. I could select the Apple one. I could continue with the Google, or I could go with the email one. Awesome. But okay, Beatrice, but it's black. In our design, we have it white. Yes, because this is, we didn't change the color of this. And because of that, we will need to update the component. So you know the component, original component is here, but when you don't know where it is, you can just go here on this button. No, sorry. Yes, I tried to show a different way to go there, but I'm gonna do like as I do. I right click on this, go to main component. It automatically, it did direct me to where the original one is. So the icon. So can you see this is black? I want to change this to white. So I'm gonna change it to white. Perfect. So let's see. It already updated. Could you see? Because I'm gonna try to do this with the zooming. I'm gonna undo it because I want you to see how that goes. I'm selecting the icon. Coming here on the use the selection colors all the time. It's really good because, for example, here I know that the colors that are being used is this. If I want to go here as well, I could go. But if I wanted to go within the field, I would need to select the group and then change the color here. So I always like to use this selection color. So I know the colors that are being used and then I can easily replace it. Okay, everything that is within if this selection that is using the color black, I want to change it to white. Pay attention here to this while I'm doing this. Pay attention to this. I'm gonna change it to white. It automatically changed. So, okay, Beatrice, but here is just one. But imagine we would be using this button in a lot of different places, like 20 pages, like 20 screens. We would be, imagine we would be using like in 20 screens and like a lot of different pages within this Figma file. And that can happen because like as we are growing like our design, we are like escalating and creating new screens and etc. This would be updated in all of them. So instead of you having to change icon by icon to the white color, it would be changing all of them as changed this one. So this is awesome, and that's why I wanted to reinforce you using that. So we're finished. We have our icons. We just don't have our ChatGPT logo. Usually, if we are working like with a product, we would be usually receiving this is also important when you start working on something, ask for the SVG versions of the logos so you can add it here. We don't have like ChatGPT SVG logo, so I'm gonna just leave this as it is. But we have the icons here, and I'm super happy because we were able to build that. I know that the icon, the Apple icon here is smaller, but I want to use this as the same size to create this consistency and all of them having the same size. So I'm leaving this as it is because it's important to show you the best practice and to have like consistency across like everything that you did. So if your icons are 20 by 20, make sure to all of them having the size of 20 by 20. Otherwise, it's gonna be weird to have one that is smaller and one that is bigger. Like here, this is, yes, we identified a mistake within the, like something that is out of consistency here on ChatGPT, and we fixed that. So yes, you already like did something based on best practices. So that's it. This video is super big, but that's why I just wanted to show you this of like changing, creating the components for icons and easily changing. Now we have our sign up page done. We are just missing the ChatGPT logo. I can see if we have like a version of the ChatGPT logo in SVG to add it here. But it's okay, it's no big deal. This is the most important that we did here. I hope you are following along. I hope you were able to do this exercise. If you did, you can send me your Figma link and say like, oh, Beatriz, I just did it. Can you have a look at it? I would be happy to see it because I want to, I had like a lot of nice people who helped me along this way. And I want to retribute that by also empowering more people, like helping more people, especially those who are starting in getting themselves like with the basics. And especially with Figma, this will speed up your process. This will make like your work be easier. And then again, you can focus more on your improving your critical thinking, justifying your decisions, like why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that, and so on. And by here, I think you're already like, I hope you are learning some best practices already. Like we already identified this out of consistency here on the ChatGPT design. That is like they have an icon that is smaller than the other one. So here you already have like you're already knowing like some best practices for when you are like building your UI design. So that's it. I hope you liked. I hope you were able to follow along. Please give me feedback. I'm super open to constructive feedback. Tell me what is working, what is not working, what needs to be adjusted. If I'm speaking too quickly, like too fast, if I'm going over the process too quickly, if it's difficult to understand, please let me know. This is a process where we iterate and then we test like we do with our designs and then we get feedback. So that's why it's important to know from you that. For the next, those who are following along after this lot of minutes, almost 50. If you have a suggestion like, okay, Beatriz, let's follow along with ChatGPT, or if you have like, oh, Beatriz, I wanted to exercise building this screen, or maybe like, let's go to a web page or something like this, just let me know. I wanted just to show you, if you have still some time, this about like mobbing. Here on mobbing, if you click on this on flows, you can see like the flow of design. So for example, this is the onboarding flow. I'm gonna move myself again. This is the onboarding flow on ChatGPT. If you go here on the screen, on the prototype, you can play with that, but I want to show you the screens. Here it shows me like this is the splash page that it was like when it's loading, and this is the one that we did. If we click on login, we are going to this one that is going to ask for permission to go to an external website that is because here we are within a ChatGPT app. This is asking me to go to the web page of ChatGPT to do the login. So the login is not done inside the app, it's done outside. So it will redirect me to an external page, which is the ChatGPT page for login. So here it shows me where I need to click and where I go and etc. And then after I finish that, then I go back to the ChatGPT app and then I finish everything inside ChatGPT. So let me know if you want to continue with this, if you want to have these other things built, or if you want to try something else, if you want to try like, oh, I want to design a web. Yeah, just let me know. I would be super happy to get your feedback, to know what would be nice. And that's it. Thank you for watching so far. And yes, see you on the next video. Bye.